Welcome to the in-service for the emergency lithotripter handle used in conjunction with LithoCrush V. This is an educational program designed to assist in the proper use of the emergency lithotripter handle with LithoCrush V. It is not designed to replace the information in the instructions for use that accompanied the devices when they were purchased. This presentation is a supplement to the information contained in the instructions for use, or IFU. All the materials in the IFU should be reviewed prior to operating these devices. Before we review the procedure for the emergency lithotripter handle, we will need to inventory our supplies. You will need the emergency lithotripter handle, coil sheath, and wire cutters. The wire cutters need to be of good quality. Bandage scissors will not work. Before using the emergency lithotripter handle, ensure that the rotatable bar can freely turn and confirm the ratchet lock works by engaging and disengaging it at the handlebar. In this situation, the LithoCrush V lithotripter has broken at the handle. Notice that the handle spins freely and the basket does not contract on the fluoro image. This is because there is a break in the basket stem. First, we will disassemble the handle by pressing on the yellow button as shown. Notice that you can see the broken stem protruding from the end of the handle. If the distally wire-guided version of LithoCrush V is being used, remove the guide wire from the patient. Now, we must simultaneously remove the LithoCrush V sheath and scope from the patient. Do not remove the sheath prior to removing the scope, as this may cause damage to the scope working channel. Now you should see the basket wires hanging from the patient's mouth. Ensure that each wire is smooth at the end. At this point, it is important to count the number of wires coming out of the patient. The standard wire versions of LithoCrush V have 4 wires. The hardwire, bullet tip version, and distally wire-guided version of LithoCrush V each have only 3 wires. The distally wire-guided version of LithoCrush V is shown here. Trim any frayed wire ends with the wire cutters. Frayed ends will not smoothly pass through the emergency lithotripter coil sheath. The wire ends in this demo are smooth and do not need to be trimmed. The wires are now loaded into the coiled sheath. The wires are advanced through the unmarked distal end of the sheath. The end with the green band is the proximal end and is connected to the handle later on. Ensure you keep the wires straight and together as you advance them through the sheath. Once the wires emerge from the proximal end of the coil sheath, count them to ensure all the wires are present. If any wire ends have become frayed, trim them with the wire cutters. We will now load the wires into the emergency lithotripter handle. Note that the emergency handle has 2 locks. One is a thumb screw that secures the coil sheath, and the second is the ratchet lock which we tested earlier. The wires are passed through the hole at the top of the handle and through the hole at the center of the T-piece. Insert the green proximal end of the coil sheath into the hole at the top of the emergency lithotripter handle. Lock the sheath in place by turning the thumb screw clockwise as shown. Confirm the sheath has reached the stone. Ensure that the ratchet is in the locked position and confirm the coil sheath is locked into the handle. While holding the wires against the handle with your left hand, slowly turn the rotatable bar with your right hand to crush the stone. Once the stone is crushed or the basket is broken, ensure that you relieve the tension in the coil sheath by disengaging the ratchet prior to removing from the patient. Remove the devices from the patient. After the procedure, dispose of the basket. The coil sheath and emergency handle are disassembled, cleaned, and autoclaved, after which they may be used again.